Been on, and we haven't been able to cut it off just yet. So you are still enjoying a nice, cool and quiet start, but the heat will be back on yet again as you're looking out over downtown Indianapolis this morning. It is going to be another warm one. You're probably used to that by now, but we are glad you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. It is 6 o'clock. It is your Wednesday morning, and I like when things are nice and quiet for us to start.
I do love that, and I love that shot there where we also saw that beautiful grass.
Yes.
How did they keep that green all summer with this big drought-like conditions that we have been in?
You start noticing who has sprinklers and who does not.
Yeah.
My yard does not. It is very crunchy right now, but that's for a lot of Hoosiers out there. But it's a weird balance with this rain because I've talked with some farmers. It's almost too late now.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to bring in the crop, so now if they have too much rain, they could get stuck. But then you don't want it to be too dry and have a combine fire. I mean, Indiana weather's tough to try to thread the needle.
So if you do sprinkler systems right now, you're in high demand.
High demand, yes. And maybe even ACs, they're probably still busy. It's gonna be a nice summery day for you. Summer still has about 4 or 5 days left, and then fall is here. And kind of the 7-day forecast is matching it just a little bit. I'll show that here in a little bit, but right now it's quiet, it's comfortable. It's a little cool, but not bad at all. Some of us are a degree or two cooler this morning than yesterday morning. Today's expect a lot of sun with maybe a little bit of haze passing on by. Today looks overall pretty quiet. Maybe a few clouds every once in a while, but once the sun comes up, you'll probably look like that sky I was just showing you, where it's mainly clear, a little bit of wispy cloud every once in a while. That's about it. It is 63 right now in the capital. You get outside of Indianapolis, for the most part, we're in the 50s. We're at 59 in Noblesville, Tipton, 56 in Kokomo, 55 there in Tippecanoe County, more mid 50s and upper 50s farther to the south, 54 in Greenfield, 58 in Newcastle and Pendleton, 56 in Richmond. Now up back to 60 in Carmel and Fishers. We're probably going to go swinging between 59 and 60 for a while there in Hamilton County, 61 in Greenwood, 60 degrees for Lyons and Rushville, and 60 reporting in Brown County and 61 in Bedford and Seymour. So nice start out there, but we need the air to move a little bit. That's a problem. In fact, air quality will be an issue today. We have an alert all the way until midnight tonight. You need some wind to kind of keep the air moving around, and we just don't have it. High pressure is keeping hot air locked in place. But eventually there will be changes as we're watching a system come in from the west. We're going to let you know when we think we could finally get a little bit of rain out here. Otherwise, no rain out there today. So construction maybe on West Street will be all right, Lindsay?
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about this, and I know that you probably heard us talk about it already, but this is starting today. It's the final phase of this West Street paving project. I know it's been ongoing for over a month or so at this point. Perhaps I think this even goes back to July when this all first started. This is 10th and West Street. So when you just come off of the I-65 ramps there, perhaps just getting onto the I-65 ramps on the near west side of the downtown area. Still have a lot of new pavement here, which is great. However, at the intersections, the pavement is not even. So the next phase of this project that's going to run today through the end of the month is going to put some lane restrictions on the intersections here in between 11th Street and West Street, and that's going to run during business hours. So a heads up here, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Indiana Fever have done it. They're still alive in the WNBA playoffs.
So they forced a game 3 after really a dominant win last night over the Atlanta Dream at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. So the Fever jumped out really to an early lead here in the first quarter. In fact, they never trailed in last night's game. So a 10-2 run in the second opened up this game. The Dream really tried to battle back in the second half, but the Fever just stayed in control even late in the third and cruised to a 77-60 win. So the Fever's first postseason win since 2015, by the way.
Kelsey Mitchell again leading the way in this one. She scored 19 points, including 4 shots from the three-point range. Mitchell says it's been a tough season, yes, with so many injuries, but last night's win really shows the team's resilience.
I think our first win here was big for us because we've been resilient throughout the course of the year, and it was just, I don't know, it felt really good to see ourselves on top and do something great for a change. When it comes to us being resilient, have to fight off a lot of ups and downs, backs and forth.
For sure. Let's do it again, though. The Fever head back to Atlanta tomorrow for this winner-take-all Game 3. So a lot on the line. Tip-off is at 7:30. Eli Gain is traveling with the Fever, so he'll be in Atlanta. Have the highlights for us here on 13 News tomorrow.
Well, this morning, there is a new deadline to clear a homeless encampment in Fountain Square near downtown Indy.
So for months, we've told you about safety concerns from both neighbors and the people living in this encampment. And now the city once again says the move has to happen soon, in the next 24 hours. Look to Anna Chalker, who is live from that area. Anna, what are the next steps? And are you still seeing people out there this morning?
We are. There's still about a handful of people still living in this encampment that's here behind me, but we're told the move will start tomorrow. But this isn't the first time we've heard that. About a month ago, the city announced they did close this encampment here off of Leonard Street. But like we said, people are still living here. So I want to show you this sign that was posted yesterday in the encampment. It says the Streets to Home Indy initiative will be working with people at the camp to find housing until September 18th. After tomorrow, the notice says camping on Leonard Street will not be allowed, and any items left behind and not labeled will be thrown away. So we drove through this site last night and just a few moments ago, and in this video you can still see about a handful of those tents left and all the trash that's been left behind. Residents like Kyle Christie have shared their frustrations on this encampment with us for months and say they hope this new notice is real and that the city will not only clear the area, but have a better solution to get people into safe spaces.
I don't necessarily blame the city for not finding housing for every homeless person. That's a very tall task. But having zoned areas or specific areas that aren't bothering nearby residents, I think that's doable and that's reasonable for taxpayers to expect. So no, I don't think they've fully done their job, but hopefully they will start to.
We were unable to get an interview with anyone with the city, but a spokesperson tells us more information on the move will be announced soon. And with the people that are still here, we talked with them about where they're going to be heading tomorrow after that and kind of what are the next steps for them. So coming up, you'll hear from them on that and also what they're hoping the city will do as they are changing this encampment over here on Leonard Street.
Well, in court, a judge denied a reduced bond for a father charged with neglect.
His 2-year-old daughter shot and killed herself with her dad's gun. 23-year-old Leonte Anderson asked the judge to reduce his bond down to $8,000. Court records say that Anderson's daughter, Harmony, found her father's gun on top of a shoe rack in the home. She died in their Ralston Avenue home on July 8th, but Anderson wasn't charged until last month.
Yeah, the judge left Anderson's bond, though, at $40,000 cash. He is expected to be back in court next month.
It's 6:08. Today we're expecting to learn more about an operation that landed 3 young people in custody.
Investigators with Fishers Police, IMPD, even the FBI linked these teens to hundreds of car break-ins. But that's not all. Police say over the course of this investigation, officers recovered stolen cars and guns.
Yeah, and they say that these crimes happen across Fishers and in the Indy area. So investigators are asking anyone with helpful information or video to reach out to police. We have more information about this case at WTHR.com.
Well, as more companies show interest in building data centers here in Indiana, the conversations about where they should be built is starting to grow.
Yeah, our Marina Silva is in studio with us this morning with some potential plans for yet another data center, this one on the city's east side. And still a mystery what company this is, right?
Absolutely. They haven't released that just yet. But for those who remember the site of the old drive-in movie theater in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood, that's the site of what could be the newest data center here in Indianapolis. County Councilor Ron Gibson told 13 News a West Coast developer reached out to him about building a small data center at the site of the old Sherman Drive-In. That closed in 1983, and it's been vacant ever since. Councilor Gibson said he has given some support, but not full. He wants attorneys for the developer to reach out to people living in that neighborhood to get their thoughts on the project.
Yeah, I think I believe that the area needs development, right? And I believe that my district needs to be in the position of attracting and retaining quality jobs and partnering with a potential owner or developer that wants to invest in our community as well. So, yes.
Okay. Well, Like I said, the developer name is still being kept a secret while this project is vetted. So that's similar to the process for the data center proposal in Franklin Township. And remember, we had found out that that was actually being done by Google.
Yeah.
But I was just looking around today, and more than 30 data centers already operate here in central Indiana. There's more than 70 actually across the whole state.
Wow.
So, and they're often hidden in plain sight, as we have seen. Data centers are a very controversial topic for those living in the area of where the data center would be.
Yes, it seems like they're gaining in popularity, especially when you say how many there are in our area. But where else are we seeing some of these data centers pop up?
So I was actually looking, we're seeing some pop up in central Ohio, that's not far from us
Right.
at all, as well as Chicago, another not far from us. So they're kind of just popping up all around us in different states.
So something special about the Midwest.
Yes.
So we'll have to see. Thanks, Marina.
Yep.
And we do know, as we talked about, the data centers are controversial in some cases here in central Indiana.
So when we look at those in our area, Monday, there is a make or break vote on that Google proposal that Marina mentioned in Franklin Township. For months, residents have been pretty loud and proud about being against this 468-acre project.
Now, at least 16 city councilors do have to voice opposition to this. So if 15 councilors vote against the rezoning Monday, that proposal would be denied.
Governor Mike Braun offers new details this morning on possible plans to redraw Indiana's congressional maps. We'll tell you when a special session could take place.
And the man accused in Charlie Kirk's death is now officially charged. We'll tell you some of the evidence prosecutors are also now releasing in the case.